I'm Jay-Z.
I'm Daniel.
This is Just My DIY.
We're here today with Siser's EasyColor DTV.
We've heard a lot of hype in the community about this new printable transfer material, and we wanted to give it a try and see what all that's about.
We're going to run it through a couple of tests, both on dark and light fabrics, as well as with glossy and matte finishes.
Naturally, DTV is going to give you more of a shiny finish, and so we wanted to see if we could truly matte that out because we like that effect.
And we're going to show you how it's done.
There you go.
So here's our Siser EasyColor DTV. Comes in a pack of 10 sheets, how we ordered it, and of course along with the DTV is a 10-pack of masking. We're going to go ahead and open it up and take a look at what we're playing with. You see, as we pull one of the sheets out, well, both sides appear light. The side you want to print on is white, and the other one is gray. So we go ahead and put it into our inkjet printer. You're going to set it up so that that white side is the side you are printing on.
And now that we've got the paper set up, we're going to go to the computer. We do need a couple of designs. We love using design bundles, and so we're going to grab some gnomes as well as some Christmas trees from this Christmas pack. Now we're going to go into the Cricut print and cut settings.
We're going to upload our image by
clicking the upload button, and then we just like to drag and drop. You can browse for it if you want. For print and cut, you do want to use complex for your image, and then click continue. This is a PNG. There's nothing to erase for the background, so we're going to go ahead and click continue, and then save it as a print and cut image, and of course name it whatever you would like. Once it is uploaded, and you got to give it a second, you will select it and then add it to your canvas.
Of course, it's going to come in enormous, so to reduce its size, we want to lock the ratio and then bring it down to the size we want. This is for a kid's t-shirt, 2T, right?
Yeah, 2 t-shirts. So we're going to make it 6.25 wide, which is more than within the Cricut Print and Cut allowance. And then we're going to click continue. The first thing obviously you need to do is send it to your printer. And we are going to select our inkjet, add bleed because we want this to cut directly to the tree shapes, and then we're going to use the system dialog. That allows you to control quality settings, and that's very important.
We are going to set it up as a plain paper with best quality,
as that's what Siser recommends. So once you have those settings, click print, and ours actually printed really fast. We were surprised at how quickly it came out of the printer.
But it did come out of the printer nonetheless. And you can see the colors are actually bright. This is inkjet, not sublimation, so the colors are normal. And we're going to cut off any of the excess of the EasyColor so that we can save it for another project. Waste not, want not. We're going to pull out the green Cricut mat. I believe this one is
standard grip.
Standard grip, that's what I was going to say. And when we're placing it down on there, we're not going to really touch the ink. We don't know that it will spread, but we also just don't want to get our greasy fingers on it.
And then we're going to put it into the Cricut and load it in. Go back over to the software because now we need to select our cut settings. We're going to browse all materials, and then we're going to search for printable iron-on, which is really on the nose. That's what this says. And we're going to select printable iron-on light and then click done. Do note that we have a new standard blade, regular blade in our Cricut. So we're not using any fancy blades or anything for this. Once we click the blinking Cricut button, it will scan the lines to see exactly where everything is on the mat and then proceed to cut.
Once it's done cutting, before we eject it, hopefully, we will always test to make sure that it did the cut right.
If it doesn't cut all the way through, you can actually press that C button and send it through again. It'll cut in the exact same spot.
It did for us, so we peeled it.
And now here's where things get a little different. If you want the shiny versus matte finish, we're going to start with the shiny kind of regular application of this.
That means we're going to take the mask and we're going to cut it close to the size of the design that we're deciding to work with and peel the backing off the mask and apply the mask to the front of the image.
Just like you would with any regular transfer tape, we're using our scraper here to get it down. You do want it down really well, and we always like to scrape on the back as well. While we were doing this, we noticed that the EasyColor was actually like folding over in a couple of places, so we peeled off that backing and just used our finger and eventually a felt tip squeegee to make sure that everything was laying down exactly as we wanted it. Now over to the heat press. Your prep for any HTV application should be similar to this.
You want to lint roll any lint off of it. You want to press it to flatten it and get moisture out, iron it down. You're going to fold it in half so you can get your center line. And of course you unfold it, reinsert your insert.
Your pressing pillow to really get you above those seams in the shirt.
And then place your image as centered, layer it with the Teflon, press it 15 seconds. At
310 degrees, and then this is a hot peel. And there it is. It's really that easy. Like, this is the shinier version, and we honestly love how thin this is and how good it feels on the shirt. We'll give you some shiny versus matte comparisons in a little bit, but you can see with the masking, the transfer tape, there's no color transfer.
But we're going to move on to the matte finish.
So to get the matte finish, the crux of it is that we're not actually going to use a transfer tape for this. So we want our image to be all one piece. Right now the three gnomes are not. So we're going to add an offset, which is basically an outline around our gnomes. Now we do want them to be all one piece, and so we want to contour out any places that they are not connected right now. So we put a dark square in so we can see everything. We change that background to a cut image, and then that will open up the contour option down in the bottom right hand corner. We're going to go through, click out the little areas that we want to be solid. Now we see that we have a nice solid piece. We're going to turn that back white. Always want to flatten. If you have multiple layers, you want to flatten before you print then cut, and then turn off that back square. The printing, the cutting, all the settings are the exact same for this, so we're going to jump right ahead, but this is how it printed out. And then this is how it looked when it got out of the Cricut.
As we mentioned, you're going to treat the fabric the same way you treat anything. You're going to lint roll anything off of it. You're going to put your pressing pillow inside of it, give it a flat, iron it out, fold it in half so you can have a mark for your center line.
And now this is where it's different. We're not using any sort of masking tape, transfer tape, anything. So you have to peel this off the backing very gently. Don't stretch it, don't tear it, be very slow. This is a little bit sped up, but lay it down on your piece and make sure there's nothing's folded under, everything's nice and flat.
Butcher paper. You want to make sure this is not a waxed anything. You don't want to put waxed anything inside a heat press. Ours is curling up because it's the end of the roll, so we're going to go ahead and use some heat
resistant
tape.
And we're going to press it 310 for 15 seconds. And look, this is matte. We didn't use that masking, we just used that butcher paper.
And you can see there is zero reflectancy, but you do get the texture of the fabric in the background, which tells you, hey, this is a really great adhesion, and the color pops.
And so you can see the trees are shiny. That's when we use the masking on, and the gnomes are not shiny at all. So there's your trick. It's your little hack. Just make sure you don't use that masking when you're pressing, and instead use the butcher paper directly on top of your image. And there you go. The printable DTV is so easy to work with, and we honestly like the results if you're just doing a few t-shirts or totes or something.
So if you liked the video, you should give it a thumbs up, subscribe, ring the bell. If you thought this looked super easy and decided to give it a try, tell us about it in the comment line. And of course, know that everything that we use to do this is listed out in the description.
Also in the description, links to all of our social handles. Please connect with us across platforms. We love hearing from you. And don't forget to check out our blog at justmydiy.com. Thanks for watching.